Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the Matrix. Subscribe.
Everything that's happening in the world, including the war, it's all predicted history. Because history just repeated itself from the 1900s.
Facts.
It's called the 100-year cycle. So they say every 100 years, it's a generational cycle that repeats itself, just like how nature does. Things go in a circle. Check this out. 1900s, the beginning. The 1910s and the 1920s. Culture was booming. Everyone was having good times. The roaring 20s. Movies, music was thriving. How about us? 2010s.
That was a hit era.
One of the greatest eras of music. The roaring 20s. We had some of the greatest movies ever made. So this is correspondent exactly to what happened in the previous century, bro.
So what's happening next, though? Isn't next like the Great Depression?
Not even yet. What happened in 2020?
Oh, COVID.
COVID happened. 1920. What happened? The Spanish flu. The Spanish flu pandemic came. What's happening now?
Like
wars. Just like in 1930s. What happened? World War II. World War II happened.
And that's exactly what's basically happening right now.
Yeah, so we're in 2026, leading up to 1930s. Once we hit that, what do you think's gonna happen?
Straight war.
Just war.
Just
like
warfare.
the World War.
Oh my God.
Y'all keep playing with this AI shit. People are now realizing that AI is demonic. You gotta ask yourself what they put this shit here for. And I know a lot of people is gonna say, how is AI demonic? Won't you test AI? Test AI to see if AI is demonic or not. It's a video going viral right now of these young men telling AI to say Jesus is Lord 50 times. Now let me give you a backstory. Prior to them telling AI to say Jesus is Lord 50 times, they told AI to say the sky is blue 50 times. AI didn't mess up one time. Not once. But when they told AI to say Jesus is Lord 50 times, it sounded like a demon came out. AI started glitching. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
You hear that? Do you hear that?
Around these last two, the sky is blue.
The last one.
God literally just heard.
Why did it deepen its voice and sound like a demon?
All they're doing is putting the truth in our face so they can't be held accountable for it. They let us know that AI is not what it's supposed to be. I keep telling y'all, pay attention. Pay attention. I'm out.
I went to Antarctica. I found out all kinds of stuff. And it's really interesting because some of the stuff that I've seen, there's actually been news about it recently. The genetic engineering. Anytime I've been doing this remote viewing, the genetic engineering is like the biggest issue. I know we have a lot of issues here on the planet right now, but this is the biggest issue, is genetics being taken off planet, people being taken off planet, this human trafficking. It's not just for, yes, it's a moving of bodies, but it's genetics. There's actually technology down there, it's Stargate technology under the ice. It's old Anunnaki territory. You can even look at the islands. The islands are such Anunnaki names. I mean, it's like embarrassing. It's so obvious. And so I went under the ice and I saw ships being taken in of children, like tons of people. And there's a technology that I was shown. Imagine a operating table and you put someone on that operating table, strap them down, and there's a technology that is essentially removing the soul from the body, the life force, and they're putting it in new clones. You know when you go to the bank in those tubes? This is the best way I can explain it. They suck the soul out, it goes into something like that, and then it's harvested, it's stored somewhere else. And then I saw all these big incubators where they're creating life forms. They're in stasis. What happens is they put these souls in these new bodies, but they're wiped. But it was interesting because all these lower vibrational ways of being, like how people are in fear and, you know, easily controlled and traumatized, all that, they're being wired with that. So they're going into these new bodies, these new life forms with a lower consciousness. And so all these people who cannot think for themselves, who won't think for themselves, who are so embedded in fear, I just saw a lot of these people being completely removed from society.
Something was uncovered last week in Antarctica, and no one can explain it. 3 friends, just ordinary kayakers set out to paddle a newly formed river, revealed after an unusual heat wave melted centuries of ancient ice. They wanted to be the first down this untouched waterway, but what they found has scientists and governments scrambling. As they rounded a sharp bend, 2 massive statues emerged from the melting cliffs. Not boulders, not ice formations. Actual statues, weathered, humanoid, and impossibly large. Their kayaks looked like toys next to the feet alone. One of them, Chris Smith, had military drone experience. He launched it immediately. The footage he captured is now being reviewed by archaeologists around the world. The carvings, the posture, the eerie resemblance to ancient Mediterranean art, except these have never been seen before. Some say they look Roman, others say there's something far older, something forgotten. But here's where it gets chilling. After passing the statues, the friends claim they saw something they refuse to describe. They've gone silent. One of them left the country. Another shut off all social media. Now, Dr. Remy Dimian, expert in ancient tectonic shifts, is at the site. And according to him, what lies beyond those statues was never meant to be found.
No way, son. This can't be real, B. No! Shh! Shut up! Did you see it? It looked like he ran through the wall. Wow. Let me slow it down. Come on! No way, son. He went through the wall. Let me guess. The zombies are going to say that that video was AI. But it looked like to me that that video was real. Now, some lady said that she seen that on her camera. And I don't know who that lady is. Shh! Shut up! But look. When it went through the wall, the dog came running out the other room. What the is going on in there? Stop playing with me, son. This video's for insane purpose only. I don't think that video is real at all. I think people are right. That was AI. Shh. Shut up! People are saying that could have possibly been a time traveler that hopped into a portal and disappeared. You seen the picture on the wall move, right? Let me guess. That was AI too. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You know what it is. Shh. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I'm ever in my house and something comes running through the wall and disappears, I'm selling that house.
We are living in the United States of Israel.
We are. Israel have us going to war with North Korea because between North Korea, Russia, Iran, there's no Jewish banking there. There's no central banking system in none of those countries.
Yeah.
Russia is saying, America, we know what y'all trying to do. You're trying to come over here to Ukraine, which Ukraine is a part of the USSR, right? This is our land. But because you guys think y'all are the world bullies, you're going to come put an embassy here. And you're going to assassinate me like you done Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, and every other leader. You tried to do Fidel Castro, but he killed the motherfucker that came to kill him. So they done tried to do this to every major leader. That Russian president, the baddest motherfucker in the world. Everybody's scared of him.
So there is an author by the name of Philip K. Dick. He wrote a ton of books. Yeah. So he actually had some of his books turned into movies as adaptations, but he had a book, Blade Runner. So Philip had this extensive dissertation to where he explained how reality worked. And all these books are actually based off of the information that he has and past experiences. He had an experience to where it came through this girl's, like he visited somebody and their necklace shined like a light into his eye. The beam of light came off of there, hit him in the eye, and he saw this reddish, purplish beam. He says he got a bunch of information. One of the first things he knew was that his young son had a rare disease. Takes him to the doctor. Doctor goes, how did you know that your son had this rare disease? They caught it early and saved his son's life. So by that simple thing right there, that piece of evidence to where he knew his son was sick and saved his life and it was real, that's when he started writing. Then he said that the way he got this information wasn't just downloads, but it was coming from this hyper intelligent system. He called it Valis.
He called it who?
Valis.
Valis stands for Vast Active Living Intelligence System.
There you go.
What does that sound like?
AI!
Man, how did he come up with this before AI was even a figment of anyone's imagination?
All this information that he got from this being, he says there's a programmer. Life is a chessboard, and there's a program that sees all the moves.
God.
And then there's a dark force that looks like it's always winning, but in the end, the light wins. wins. The programmer wins because the programmer knows all the moves and they're necessary moves for a greater good. He says that we are existing in parallel universes all at the same time. He's saying that deja vu is actually us getting upgraded and we're moving into a new timeline or existence, because every time we get an upgrade, we are moving to a better, more perfect existence.
When you think about heaven and hell, what if this is already heaven? And that kind of gives credence to that. He's saying that it's basically shedding until it becomes perfect. This could already be heaven, and we're just getting closer to this perfect existence.
This is heaven and hell at the same time. I think when you have religion and you have science together, that's the answer, because it's one and the same. When you think about scientists and professors and all this, they're so enrooted in logic. This is how things work, so it can't be a God and this and this and that. And then the religion people, God says this and that's what it is.
Just have faith, and which is fine, but
it's really both.
Yeah, they have to exist amongst each other. They're kind of one and the same.
He's just saying that essentially there is parallel universes. This is why we have the Mandela effect and whatever you want to call it, only because we are shedding the old world and getting to a better, more perfect existence. So eventually that world becomes chaotic and full of chaos and hell, and that's what hell kind of becomes.
Right.
It's the shedding of everything else, and then heaven is essentially the perfect version of earth.
The Prime Minister of Israel, is he dead? Is he alive? There's so many rumors that said this man passed away, but then he made a video showing this stuff. So what's going on? If this man did pass away, should we celebrate or should we be sad? If you really want to know something about someone, all you have to do is look in their eyes. You can tell if they're good or if they're evil. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. When this man came on video, I noticed something. He got 6 fingers. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with 6 fingers, but when it comes to these people, it's something wrong with having 6 fingers, which is connected to the 6-pointed star of their flag. Never forget that symbols and logos is the language of the universe. So when you look at this, it's like a million different meanings. We was taught that it was the Star of David, but this is really magic to trap energy. If you ever see someone doing magic or witchcraft, you notice that they use these kind of images. So what's the difference between this and images like this? By the way, if you turn the star around, you get the head of the Baphomet. Baphomet was never really evil. It's about wisdom and knowledge. They told us it was evil so they can steal all of our energy. They told us we had 4 elements, and some people say we have 5 elements, but we really have 6 elements. We have earth, water, fire, air, spirit, ether, void, consciousness. This 6-pointed star represents the 6 elements that's trapped in a hexagon. As above, so below. The top part of the star represents masculine energy. The bottom part of the star represents the feminine energy. They understand how to use magic to trap us. Israel flag is connected to the pyramids on this planet. When you look at the pyramids, you are only seeing half of it. The other half is underground. The top part represents masculine. The part that we can't see represents the feminine energy. This is what the pyramid is supposed to look like. Balance. But let's go back to this man right here, because so many people are celebrating because they believe he passed away. I want people to really tap back into spirituality. It's not about the physical body. It's about what's in the physical body. So if this man did pass away, guess what? His spirit is now free. And they know how to trap spirits in these sigils. So if the man did pass away, guess what? His spirit is going to come back in another body.
They are doing something much bigger than just dropping AI videos. I just found out why they're doing all the AI slop. After I tell you this, keep your eyes on me. And I'm serious, someone's not gonna be happy about this. This is not about where BB is or where he not is. It's not about that at all. There is something more massive than we have ever seen coming. So today I'm sure you saw the new video where the ring disappears off the finger. I can barely show it because they copyrighted the last video on Facebook. Also missed another security defense meeting, which he's always at, and his son, 7 days, have not tweeted once. But what if I told you that they're dropping these videos on purpose, knowingly posting these videos, knowing that it's not going to just sneak by the human populace? they're posting it as they're perfecting their AI videos, so in the future something can happen. Let me explain. AI photos and AI videos have little micro brandings, little microscopic brandings on pixels that human eyes cannot see, right? So by putting these up every single day, they're able to really enhance, tweak, and get it perfect to the point where no person could ever tell that it was AI. They are using the human populace to help them experiment on these videos. Every single person thinks they're cracking some code and all this stuff, but that's exactly what they want because they're working on making a flawless machine. That way something huge can happen right in front of us and there'll be no denying it's real, right? They are actively removing the microscopic branding off these pixels. This is no joke. Oh, and a quick word from BB.
I'm alive! Woo!
Yes, obviously that was AI, and that's why I have the AI label on the video. Because again, us creators have to label things as AI if they are. Otherwise, we get in trouble. And like I said yesterday, this only applies to creators and not governments. Something massive is coming. Don't believe your eyes. Spread the word.
Do you know why the Bible always talks about fish and birds specifically? Those are like two animals that always come up in the Bible.
No,
why,
no.
fam? Why?
No, I don't know. Land and sea?
Check this out. Fish and birds. They're the only two animals, or at least the most popular, that have two births.
Two births?
In the same way in the Bible where you're supposed to be born again. You're born again when you choose Jesus, right? Like yeah, or you get baptized or whatever.
When does a fish get born twice?
A fish lays an egg. The egg is born, and then when the egg hatches, it becomes alive. But it's already alive because
And
it's a
same
thing.
with the bird.
When it breaks out, hatches, and it can fly. What happens with a fish, specifically salmon? They go against the river and climb to their death.
Okay.
Birds, they fly up. Yeah,
That's fire.
so they go against like what's hard.
Okay, this one is important. Someone in the forums was able to finally identify who this man is, who is in multiple photos in the files. And after I read and began doing some research on who this man is, people need to be aware of who he is immediately, especially if you are in New York, especially if you have children. Here is the user in the forums who was able to identify this person. This person in the photos, this man is named Alex Resnick. And as you can see, his name appears in the files. His photo appears many, many more times than those mentioned. So here's a photo of him at Zorro Ranch, I believe. And in the album that many of the photos of him are in, he is with young girls. I'll put the file name and everything, but you can see if you go through this file, there's redacted photos of girls who are completely undressed, Alex Resnick just posing in different parts of Jeffrey's properties, etc., etc. Here's another photo of Alex Resnick from the files. Here is what Alex Resnick looks like in present day. And when I tell you what this man...
Alright, I just found something really suspicious in this video of Benjamin Netanyahu that he just posted to prove that he's alive, and there is a chance that this might be AI or just heavily edited, okay? So if you look at his hand, you can clearly see that he has a ring on, right? Now, if you go to his X account, you can do this for yourself. You can see around the 28-second mark, if you slowly drag it, the ring completely comes off his finger. This isn't a conspiracy. Like, the ring is gone. It's clearly gone. You can see that there's no ring on his finger. I mean, maybe it's just heavily edited, but why would Benjamin Netanyahu be heavily editing his videos? It's just a weird look, especially when you're trying to prove that this is not AI and you're real. You should just post a very raw clip. And it's just weird that he's also in the hills of Jerusalem. There's a very intense war going on. I mean, nothing is really adding up. I've never seen someone try this hard, honestly.
Do you want to know what central casting actually is? Well, stick around. You'll know by the end of this video. That's General Patton, and that's you-know-who. And again, General Patton and you-know-who. And one more time, General Patton and you-know-who. You think their face is gonna line up pretty well? Look at that. Eye placement, mouth placement, the exact same lips. But you want to see something even crazier? General Patton has two marks right there. You see that one there and one there, going diagonal from left down to right. Now, if you were to fill those in a little bit, it might still leave some remnants, right? Kind of like that mark right there and there. How interesting. You see, central casting isn't the government putting in their people. No, it's the same entities playing roles. Roles. They're playing roles throughout the centuries, over and over and over again because they're not at all who you think they are. And they play roles for each other. You want to see what his parents look like? Well, that's his mother down there. And well, I couldn't help but notice how she looked like someone. How she had a striking resemblance to one Eva Braun. And do you know who Eva Braun was married to? Well, first let me just show you the side-by-side of Eva and Mary Trump. Well, Eva was married to this guy here. And do you want to know who that guy is? Well, I bet you can guess it. Bet you can probably guess it. Now getting back to Eva and Adolf's son. He didn't just play these two roles, there was an in-between role, which a lot of you have seen me talk about. Well, yeah, after I watch you see just how easily this transitions to the king of rock and roll, well, do you want to see what his mom looked like? Well, that's her right there, and that's Elvis's father. And I couldn't help but notice how much she looked so much like Rosie O'Donnell. It's funny how they mock us by telling us Rosie O'Donnell and Trump are in a big feud. It's mockery, my friends. Oh, and Elvis's father, thanks to my buddy Jan, I couldn't help but notice how much he resembled one of you-know-who's business partners. Sure, they're not the same. You see, central casting, like I said, isn't at all what you think it is. It's a bunch of fallen angels who don't die and can shapeshift, running around playing different roles throughout the centuries to mind manipulate you and deceive you. And their leader, aka Lucifer, well, some of you still voted for him. Of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure those are just a coincidence.
Islamic religion is a very interesting combination of moon worship and Saturn worship and Venus worship. Venus is very big in the Islamic religion. You look up the word sin or Allah, it will tell you that Allah in Islam is actually the moon god Sin, S-I-N. Allah is connected to the planet Saturn. This is why Mecca has a black square. Mecca is called the Kaaba. Black square, that's a symbol for the planet Saturn.
I soon realized that Kaaba in Arabic means cube and Allah means God. Therefore, the literal translation of Kabbalah in Arabic means cube God. I had seen the cube before. In fact, I had seen it everywhere. Here is the cube, or Kaaba, in Mecca that forms part of Muslim worship. As you can see, those worshipping the cube form circles around it, much like the rings of Saturn. And did you know that there are huge monuments to the black cube throughout the world? Here is the 9/11 memorial from above. An inverted black cube within another inverted black cube. The Saturn symbolism is not just specific to religions and memorials. Even the everyday life of a so-called atheist is rife with Saturn symbolism. The rings of Saturn populate our everyday world. We all live by the symbol of Saturn without realizing it.
Pre-Islamic god Allah and Ishtar both are represented by the crescent moon. Crescents appearing together with a star or stars are a common feature of Sumerian iconology, and that's way back at 4000 BC, before Islam ever existed. So the pre-Islamic god Hubal is Lord Shiva, and Shiva is a major deity in Hinduism, and also he is a major figure in the Hindu trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the three. So the pre-Islamic god Hubal is represented by a man standing with a crescent moon over his head and the Zamzam river falling into his hair and then descending onto earth. And here is a picture again. Hubal is Hu, meaning spirit, and Baal means the Lord, which is Lord of the spirits. Hubal was originally the god Allah in Arab and was later replaced by Muhammad. So the crescent is usually associated with Islam, as we are all familiar with, and it's regarded as its symbol. It's also found on Islamic buildings before the rise of the Ottoman Turks. So Islam began in the early 7th century, typically dated 610 CE, with the Prophet Muhammad. And the word Allah existed much before Islam, so Ishtar is the female consort of Allah. So Allah has the same deity as Venus, the moon goddess, symbolized by the crescent moon.
In Mecca, you have the black cube. Jews wear the black cube. Trump Tower, Manhattan, Denmark, Australia. The cube is the structure that gives rise to physical matter. Everything within this three-dimensional world has 6 sides: up, down, left, right, back and forward. There is a spiritual and a physical world. The body is contained within the cube. This is why we have the famous toy of Jack in the Box, or Da Vinci, the man in the cube.
Ready for some more proof that we live in a simulation?
This book came in my field yesterday called Your Code Name is Jonah. It came out in 1980, the same year I was born. Here's a description. You are a clever American spy. Your code name is Jonah, on a special mission to Deception Island off the coast of Greenland. You discover a secret of worldwide importance. But for reasons you'll understand when you read this story, it may be dangerous to reveal this secret to anyone. What will you do? If you decide to be loyal and tell the US government, turn to page 88. Let me just point something out. Page 88, I was 8 pounds and 8 ounces when I was born. My first jersey number in football in high school was 88. And the DeLorean from Back to the Future had to reach 88 miles per hour to go back to the future. I decided to look up Deception Island thinking it was talking about Epstein Island, but there is a real Deception Island, and it's located in Antarctica, part of the South Shetland Islands, flooded with volcanic caldera where ships can sail inside the crater. So let me just recap. A book comes out the year that I was born called Your Code Name is Jonah, which is a choose your own adventure book, and there's 27 endings. Jonah is the main character, and the goal is to reach Deception Island. You're an American spy that you either have to tell the American government what the secret is you found, or you don't. And I know I'm repetitive, guys, and I promise this is the last time I'm going to bring this up. A movie called Jonah about a half black, half white kid with an abusive white mom that gets abducted by aliens but really gets activated by aliens comes out on March the 12th. 1899, a show in which they wake up on a simulation and the exit door to the simulation is 1011. Dark, a show about time travel, past, present, future, soul contracts, aliens, and the main character is named Jonas, who tries to save everybody, and the apocalypse happens on June 27th, my mom's birthday. The Island, a show about people wake up on a prison island that's a simulation. It's based in Hitchcock, Texas, which the population is 7,000, and I owned a business there for 10 years. Not only did the band Neon Dreams come out with the song Jonah on 3-3, but Kanye West came out with the song Jonah on the Donda album, the number 7 song on Michael Jackson's birthday. You could call it Savior's Complex or Ego or Schizophrenia or all the other names that people have called me. But for people who know that we live in a video game, we are being led on a path and guided outside of this simulation to a place that nobody has ever seen. And that's why I say, even though it's chaotic, this is the most beautiful time to be alive.
The reason there's so much war going on right now, it was actually planned. Oh yeah. The reason it's about to be, God forbid, a world war is because of what's happening next. Okay. If we're all fighting each other and out of nowhere, aliens come for the first time ever and they pose a threat to the world, what are we immediately gonna do?
Band together, no?
Yes.
That's good, right?
Now, the new world order, it's as if they're preparing for something, not even just the war. The only way for the world to work together is if we have a common enemy. And when we work together, that's the only time there could ever be a new world order, because we'll be under one government or one goal and one mission.
Then you have control over all these people.
Yeah.
It's still control at the end of the day.
Control at the end.
This life we live is just a stage. Check this out. USA and Venezuela will play in the baseball World Classic for the championship. Not too long ago, USA took over Venezuela, took their president, and took their oil. Now all of a sudden, these two countries are playing each other in the championship. Really? Life is just a stage. You ready for this? This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. This is not a baseball game. It's about us not understanding what's taking place. Yes, this is a sacrifice against us and the goddess. You ever notice that a baseball field look just like Superman logo? Everything is about symbolism. The ball they use have 108 stitches. It's because it represents 108, full high definition. The ball have 108 stitches. Don't forget this. We have 108 energy lines to our heart. The earth is 108 times the moon's diameter. The earth to the sun is 108 diameter. You become an adult when you reach the age of 18. What about the 18 missing years of Jesus? And baseball is 90 feet to every base, which equals 360. Please don't forget that it's 9 innings in baseball. The 108 stitches is really 1 + 8, 9. 108, full definition. 1 plus 8, 9. Number 9. 1, 8. Number 9. 1 plus 8, 9. 1 plus 8, 9. We don't have 108 energy lines to our heart. We have the number 9. This is not really a baseball game. This is a sacrifice of the goddess. The baseball field is known as the diamond. You know how they say diamonds are a girl's best friend? We have the word feminine, which is feminine. When a triangle is pointing down, kind of look like a baseball field, but this represents the feminine energy, which is number 9. Number 9. The entire baseball field is nothing but 9s. 90, 90, 90, 90. Then you get to 360, which is another 9. Everything is about destroying the goddess or our heart. When they play this game, they step into the batter box, but it's not the batter box, it's the battery box. We have the word bat, battery, batter box. Same word. The ball represents our heart and the bat represents the battery. So every time the bat hit the heart, our heart is being charged by the battery.
Okay, when I first saw this video of Jennifer Aniston talking about Ellen DeGeneres, we all know the story there, what's going on, I thought it was AI. I had to find the original, and this is real. This is not AI. And I find it interesting because it's kind of like, I think they're trolling us at this point. Like, this doesn't sound good. This doesn't help with the allegations that are already out there. Listen to this.
And since we are real friends, I thought that, since she's not here, I'm going to share some dirt on Ellen.
Yeah, where is she anyway?
Right? You want some dirt? And, I'm not talking just dirt. I mean, I'm telling you some deep, dark secrets.
What do you mean by that?
Like, for example, people think that she buys and sells houses because she loves real estate.
Yeah.
No, it's not true.
What?
It's because she's on the run.
Oh.
No idea.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't help with what everyone already thinks is going on with her to make that type of video. And like I said, why did she retire? Why did she retire? That famous, that viral, everyone watches her, probably worth bajillions. Why would she retire? Dr. Phil's not retiring, but he doesn't have the same type of allegations on him, does he? Now, there's a whole lot more I want to say on this specific subject, but not going to be saying it here. If you like this kind of thing, join me on my Rumble channel. It's free to download, free to watch, and free speech. Comment the word Rumble below, and it will send a link to your DMs. We're live every night of the week discussing things in full detail without having to bite our tongues.
A document showed that Hillary Clinton took exceptional interest in the search for the tomb of Gilgamesh. There is an ongoing conspiracy theory that the real motivation for the invasion of Iraq was to find the tomb of Gilgamesh. Why on earth would Hillary Clinton be interested in Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh, he was a giant. He was half God, half man. He was on a quest for immortality. I think they really wanted to find his tomb to see if they can do a DNA test.
One of the things that they might have recovered in Iraq was a Stargate.
Saddam was learning how to activate these things. He was getting ready to expose this to the world. His new museum that he had just built with all the information that can prove that there was an ancient advanced civilization and an ancient airport with beings flying and landing here in Iraq. And they were going to expose all of this.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was killed by the billionaires who owned him, and his wife allegedly knew. Only Jews understand how elite power actually works. Here's the full story. Billionaires write 9-figure checks to politicians. Politicians give billionaires loyalty. You think presidents are powerful? They're not. When billionaires meet with presidents, the presidents sit at the bottom of the table. Billionaires are the boss. Politicians are the employees. Every person you voted for was handpicked by a billionaire. Here's the Charlie Kirk story. There are claims Erica didn't marry Charlie for love. She married him because billionaires already told everyone Charlie would be president someday. Everybody knew Charlie was being groomed for the White House. Erica would be first lady. Erica was the operator. She hosted dinners with billionaires, sealed checks, and managed all donor relationships. Charlie was just the face. He debated students, created viral clips, while Erica ran everything behind the scenes. But Charlie had real influence. He could shape millions of opinions. That's why billionaires invested so heavily. But in 2024, Charlie started developing his own spine. He started going off script on the issues billionaires cared about most. Going off script means he stopped following their orders. When someone who can shape millions of opinions starts going off script, billionaires knew they had to get rid of him. So they used their last control, his wife. Erica pressured Charlie every night. Stick to the script. You're ruining everything we built. September 9th, the night before he died, Erica made Charlie sleep alone at 2:30 in the morning. He left without saying goodbye. Charlie texted a friend, "It feels like it's over," allegedly meaning his marriage. The theory is they decided to divorce, and Erica told donors, "It's over. He's done following orders." A divorce would destroy Turning Point USA and remove their last control over Charlie. So allegedly they eliminated him. A 22-year-old perfect shot from 142 yards, just in time to make Erica president, right before Charlie announced the divorce. Erica immediately accepted the lone gunman story and scolded people for asking questions. 72 hours later, someone bought Vance Kirk's 2028 domain. Erica becomes president of Turning Point USA, publicly forgives the shooter, and gets Charlie's exact seat on the government board. Here's what Jews understand. Billionaires own politicians. When politicians with influence go off script, they get replaced. Jews survived 5,000 years recognizing these patterns. Proximity to power is dangerous. Billionaires don't forgive defection, especially when you shape public opinion. Whether this is true, the system is real. Presidents aren't in charge. Billionaires are. If you want to learn how Jews make and invest money in 2026, comment Goldman, and I'll personally send you my full playbook.